read a portion of a much longer prose poem series. It's actually something that started off as a series of poems, and then I changed it to be fiction, and then I changed it back. Now it's kind of in the middle. So it has its prose moments, and it's a little crotz. I guess we prose poem crotz. It doesn't quite have any yet. 1976. Angela gets paid more babysitting money than she should. Family is family, Ma says when we tell her Angela is a jerk all day. Home late from the restaurant, aching feet in the water bills, Ma's voice is rusty at its low tide. Her shoulders lean into crickets and cold beer on the porch steps. Lisa and I balance on the railing, sharing shrimp cocktails she carried home from the restaurant in a tinfoil swan. She reminds us that Cousin Angela is ours, family, especially with Aunt Brenda gone. Auntie not quite family either, but still close. Smoking on the back porch and pissed about babysitting, Angela sneers, get away. Almost 18 in the Poconos is like jail. Brown legs and short shorts, her lacquered toe dangled a sandal first time he walked by. Slow, gold chain around his neck and looking all the way up the driveway, squinting out the address numbers to where the strap slipped down on her shoulder. Angela, popping gum, said she didn't give a damn about no delivery boy. Man, he corrected. Delivery man. He set the package down and looked her in the face without smiling. Why don't you just come on and sign right here? Angela took her time unhooking the Walkman from the waistband of her cutoffs and removing the foam headphones, stared him in the face like a dare, shiny mouth and lashes clumped with mascara. She liked that his whole body tensed when he took the clipboard from his hand, his alertness. She followed him back to the truck, and when he hoisted himself into the back to retrieve the package, she surprised him by doing the same. You're not supposed to be in the truck, he said. His speaking was work. She decided that she liked the stutter, the way words stalled in his tense jaw, how nervous she made him. She leaned into him, just trying to help. We don't know his name. Ray didn't. We hardly know him at all except for footsteps and telephone calls and an argument once on the porch. Lisa and I say, boyfriend. Taffy stretched the syllables to get under Angela's skin. We twist our fingers in her hair and inhale his smell on her neck. Mind your own fucking business, she says, shooing us away. We were all up under her, in her way, blocking her sun. She closed her eyes and laid there, long legs, tanning oil, headphones. We were as boring as everything else in the broke-down lake, broke-down theater, broke-down one-horse town. As bad clam fritters laid us all up good, all of us, except for Angela, who hated shellfish and the crowded waterfront and anything that wasn't him. The phone rang. Her glistened cross-brain emerged from the bath, loomed whitely, trailing a thigh in thin morning light. She moved across the kitchen floor, leaving the shape of her tiptoe, her whisper into the receiver, the lavender of her mother's soap suddenly everywhere. We know the answer is yes. Yes is the shape of her body, weeping bathwater. Yes, a dogwood raining flowers near the far edge of the lake, light that fills your mouth and hands and holds. He wasn't a talking man, but his steel-toed walk walked the walk, and he walked it soft. He showed up with chocolate squares and graham crackers, pointed out edible berries, ruby-throated hummingbirds gathering nectar in the trumpet lilies. We sprawled before the fire pit at the edge of the lake. The darkness beyond the circumference of firelight became a solid curtain. The tall grass closed behind them. We blew hard on blackened marshmallows and waited for whatever would happen to happen. Deer or raccoons sometimes appeared, unearthly, green-eyed at the forest edge. Fireflies in slow orbit, Gemini overhead, and the water stretched out before us, a dark wing, a gathered silence. Stay here, she had said. A person needs privacy sometimes. Privacy is for peeing. Privacy is Ma scribbling checkbook balances at the bank. Curtains after sundown so we're not on display. Why we don't take our business into the street, talk about Dad, answer the phone, say our real last names. Privacy is a quick breath and voices crouched low as the picnic blanket. Damply crushed grass whirled beneath their breathing. Privacy. He was unplaceable except for certain mysteries. For example, when he might arrive, the weather of his face, an absence of precise language. His ability to mimic bird calls, loon, wild turkey, loomed him larger than the slender forearms or occasional delivery truck, made him like Christmas. But Angela did try his vowels, stretched them across the cords of her throat, rubbed them against a slow tongue. Some afternoons they came downstairs with eyes too hot for us to take on our skin. We'd go outside, float on our backs in the lake. Before he appeared at the foot of the drive, a slow grin, watchful silence, Angela did not realize she was waiting for gravel crushed beneath his shoes, for the sleepy smile behind a handful of lilacs tied with twine, for the shift to end, for the phone, for the trail of soapy footprints when she rose smoothly from the bath to answer it, slippery bubbles that would dry, harden, scrape clean. Angela said it was Ma's fault coming home unexpected while the stones of his chest shone oiled dark above her. Ma could have slapped her then, but wadded his clothes and hurled him down the front stairs instead. Don't come back, Ma said, ever. Ma blocking the front doorway and Angela howling, scrambling for her panties and flip-flops to go after him. At the bottom of the stairs, he stepped into his dungarees and shoes. Angela called his name and he did not answer. He was not a talking man. The eye he lifted to Ma's gaze were heavy as stones. Angela tried to push past and get outside, but Ma has a way of filling a doorframe that makes even crazy girls get quiet. Ma held him in her eyes, not startled or disquieted, a wholly unreadable expression, his head shaking slowly side to side. I remember the muscles of his shoulder, his bare torso, and how he started walking and did not look back. She was leaving, Angela decided. Hitchhike or walk, same difference. Ma, calm as milk, eyeing the clock, chopping garlic, letting the salted water come to a boil. Angela came back 3 hours later, threw her duffel bag up the front steps and lit a cigarette. Ma, in her waitress uniform and leaving for work by then, let silence be silence. She kissed all three of us on the way out, reminded Angela about making spaghetti for dinner, the rules, Lisa and me watching. Angela sat on the porch until after mosquitoes came out. No one could tell her different. She drank up all Ma's beer, all night on the porch with her duffel bag next to hers, tears streaking down her cheeks, the only rain we'd seen in weeks. Cousin's gone to the country, a few weeks for rest and fresh air, to cool her jets, Ma says. Fingers around the pitcher of an orange juice and puffy eyes at breakfast. She'll be back in a while. Much time passes. Say hi to your cousin Angela, Mom's instructions. Her breath like cartoon clouds in the cold. It's December when we carve a slow route down the bus depot. Our shy's hellos. Are your jets cold? Lisa wants to know. Angela laughs a hard hand through cropped hair. We help her lift the suitcase and 2 overstuffed paper bags of 45s, books, and clothings into the car. Cousin, beneath her leather, is thinner, less. Yes, she says. I'm goddamn freezing. Come on. She has a crooked smile in the doorway. Our cousin Angela. Since October, she's got the keys to come and go. Some mornings, she's curled asleep on the sofa. Other days, just crumbs on the cutting board and a peanut butter knife in the sink. Lisa and I are eating chicken pot pie when she saunters in through the back door. Get your stuff, ladies. It's showtime. We're not allowed. She's in one of her good moods, though, sparkle-eyed, thrumming. Angela grins hard at Lisa and I from across the counter. Dare you. Double dare. Uncombed hair, long legs, and cigarettes just like before. Don't be such babies. Get your shoes on. Let's go. The Chrysler's wing creaks open to red vinyl interiors. Where are we going, I ask. It's an adventure, she says. The third time I ask, she slams down hard on the brakes. We swerve and skid stop on the shoulder. You want to get out? Then get out. It's miles from anywhere. Just empty highway and snowflakes big as Queen Anne's lace. I swing the door wide, but don't move. Cold air licks my scalp and ears. Well, I wait, my sneakered foot dangling out of the car door. I know Lisa's hand is on the doorknob. If I step out, she'll step out too. For a moment, we're all three waiting, cold air streaming into the car. Well then, get your ass back in and shut up. I close the door, and Angela snaps the door locks. When she guns the engine and points the car back onto the interstate, Lisa and I lock eyes in the side view mirror. The trick of everything is finding the trick in it, is what Ma says. Multiplication tables have tricks, so does the butterfly stroke. New schools have tricks, church, you find the game in it, then you find the way to win. Keep the communion wafer on your tongue until the end of Mass. Name and number the high angels roiling in the ceiling's plaster and pigment. There's so many ways of winning. Keep your eyes open. This is the game, to not speak. Cousin Angela overboils when spoken to, nearly swerves off the road twice, turning full round to the back seat to glare me down. The trick is to keep watching and counting the turns. A diner pulls us over, rinky-dink greasy spoon with neon lights and hum of evening news in black and white and sometimes static. Angela smokes between hamburger bites. Instead of finishing her ice cream, Lisa slides fat tears down her cheeks and into the neck of her sweater. The trick here is to not acknowledge anything, to lock pinkies and ankles beneath the table, to calculate the tip like cousin asks and count it out in nickels and dimes. After the diner, nothing looks familiar. Thank you.